welcome back to another episode of Chikahan here in the Grace Period. So, for this Christmas special, we're going to chika with an RM who served outside the Philippines. So, I think kasi na maganda na makarinig tayo ng mga chika about sa mga ano bang ginagawa ng mga ibang tao sa sa Christmas. Kasi dito sa Pilipinas, 'di ba, parang we start celebrating Christmas or like putting up the Christmas decoration September pa lang. So, ano ba yung kaibahan natin sa labas? So, I have here a very wonderful person who is a returned missionary and served outside the Philippines. So, here is Gabriel. Gabriel, hello.
Hello.
Nice. Okay,
Nice to be here.
Gabriel. Pwede bang Gabe na lang? Kasi,
Sure, sure,
sige, Gabe na lang tayo. Okay. So,
sure.
Gabe, introduce yourself to the madla.
Hi, ako si Gabriel. Some people call me Gabe, Gab. I served sa Korea Soul Mission, Korea Soul Mission, and yeah, I've I I returned 2020. So it's been over 5.5 years.
May kasabihan ka ba, Gabe?
Ah, work smart, not hard.
Yes, nice. Oo. Actually, dapat yan ngayon, eh. Dapat kailangan talaga tayo nagwo-work smart. Kasi
Yeah,
kapag panay hard work lang tayo, ay hindi masyado fruitful ang ating ano,
right.
magiging success. Anyway, punta na agad tayo dun sa topic ng ating ano 'no, nung kwento segment natin. So, you mentioned na, um, you serve your mission sa Seoul South. Or
Soul,
Seoul
sorry,
Seoul, just
Soul.
Seoul, South
Yeah.
Korea mission. So when you first experienced Christmas in Korea, what stood out the most about how they celebrate it?
I think, well, to give context, people think that South Koreans are still very Buddhist.
Mhm.
They're not. They're really not. Most people who are Buddhists would be around the age of my parents, around the 60s, late
Hmm.
50s. The the following generations, especially yung mga kaedad ko when I was in the mission, most of them were Christians already. And I think something that might surprise a lot of people is that there may be more Christian churches in Korea than in the Philippines. Sobrang daming klase ng uh, Christian churches sa
Mhm.
Korea. So with that in mind, I had thought coming into the Christmas, my first Christmas season, so it would have been 2018 December. I thought that people would be more, Christ centered,
Spiritual.
right?
Mhm.
Right,
Yeah.
right. You would
Mhm.
no, but for the most part, what I saw was that uh, you know, it was more of a dating holiday
Mhm.
than anything else. You would see it was like Valentine's in December. I mean,
Mhm.
people were pairing off. I barely saw families going out together, right? So I think that's what surprised me. And also, you know, Christmas is different as a full-time missionary, right?
Mhm.
You don't stay up late. You what you look forward to is the kind of Christmas gathering of your zone or the mission. So yeah, it was fun. It was different, but at the same time, as a missionary back then, it was easier to kind of introduce the church to other people because it was Christmas. So it was easier to segue into, oh, do you know what the Christmas season is all about? It's not
Mhm.
just a dating holiday, diba? It's not just a time for your girlfriend and you to go out. It's time to celebrate Christ and his life, his birth, ultimately his it all.
Have you ever found out like where it stemmed out, like the culture of celebrating Christmas sa South Korea? Why
Did
it
I
became like a dating.
ah Koreans have become more westernized uh
Oh.
from yeah. And that's very apparent because kung sa atin may Taglish, sa kanila may Konglish,
Oo.
may Korean English, right?
Mm.
And older people are so annoyed dun sa Korea pagka yung mga kaedad natin. they would use Konglish kasi hindi siya purong Korean, 'di ba?
Mm.
Pero kasama yun, eh. I think that's part of it na mas nagiging, westernized yung Korea. So, yung gano'n, it's not like here in the Philippines, sa atin, schools have weeks of holidays, 'di ba? Para lang sa Christmas. Doon hindi gano'n.
Oh, that's why. Ah, interesting ha. Wala lang, naisip ko lang na parang kasi I've been a fan of, um, K-pop culture since 2009, siguro parang nasa high school age pa lang
Yeah.
ako. So yung kaya hindi masyado surprise or parang surprising sa'kin yung sinabi mo parang naging dating holiday yung Christmas. Pero yun nga, eh, kaya ako tinanong sa'yo kung saan siya nag-stem out, yun pala nagiging more westernized. So, ibig sabihin like before na naging westernized siguro yung South Korea, parang meron ka bang kuwento na nahagap,
Ah,
tsismis na ano, paano nila sinelebrate yung ano,
well,
Christmas?
not specifically about Christmas.
Mhm,
Pero what really I knew was, Korea became rich really quick. Yung bansa nila became rich really quick.
mm,
Nung yung mission president ko, he served there, early 80s. And pagbaba niya ng eroplano, may mga lupa lang, walang runway. Lupa
mhm.
lang. Tapos may mga manok sa gilid ng runway. And it was a farm. No? So they went from that to, kung ano sila ngayon.
Yung
So,
biglang first world country.
yeah, very, very
Mm,
quickly. And that
yun.
came with the ideology, syempre, of
Ah. Of course, they want to pattern themselves dun sa mga first world countries na ano,
yeah.
well, makes sense. Pero how did you celebrate your first Christmas dun? Aside sa siguro, um,
Oh.
paano mo na paano yun?
Oh, I remember my first Christmas sa Korea. I distinctly remember yung mission activity namin where we went to the mission office, we sang songs, we celebrated, uh, and it was just an overall happy, happy time. Sa akin, and it was really cold. I will never forget how cold it was kasi, there's this thing called frostbite, di ba?
Mhm.
Where yung extremities mo
Gaano ka na
manginginig.
ba katagal nun nung first Christmas mo sa mission?
I arrived September, eh. So 3 months.
Oh.
So I was really new and I really thought na yung mga daliri ko would fall off. It was really cold. There were days na -12 yung pinakamainit.
What?
Pinakamainit. Yeah, yeah. So
Mainit? Oh
we
my
would wake
gosh!
up we would wake up at -18 at this paghapon -12. So so it was very shocking sa akin. Pero I just remember I still remember my companion, si Elder Bond. I loved him. I loved him so much. The best friend. Pero just being around the more senior missionaries and yung to be kind of to see how they would interact and yung relationships nila. Parang sobrang close-knit nila. Work in Korea wasn't easy. Sa amin, we don't baptize a lot of people. We average one baptism per missionary per year. So sa isang buong taon, maybe makakaisa ka kung
Pero
average.
how so? Kasi parang sinabi mo during that time marami ng mga Christians. Parang
Yeah. So
pan
Koreans are very tradition held. So halimbawa yung parents nila were baptized to another church. They will hold on to it forever. Yeah. So sa kanila parang if you try to teach me another way, parang dinidisrespect mo yung tradition ng parents ko. Which
rigid pa din talaga yung ano nila 'no,
hindi
pagdating
naman
sa work.
talaga disrespect namin yung magulang ko. Just wanna share, what
Mm,
we feel is true.
mm.
So, yeah, that made it difficult.
Sige. Pero balik tayo nung, Christmas in the Philippines. Siyempre for sure parang at some point ng Christmas season sa Korea, medyo na-miss mo yung Christmas at home? Kasi for me, I serve in LA, nasanay ako na maingay sa labas, may mga nangangaroling, minsan nga may
Hmm.
nagpapaputok na yan. So parang nung Christmas day na, sabi ko, "Ito na yung Christmas dito."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oo,
Parang
oo.
meron ka bang moments na gano'n nung nasa mission ka?
Yeah, yeah. Well, ako honestly, siyempre na-miss ko talaga nung Christmas yung family ko. Of course,
Mm,
you think about the, 'di ba? Ako,
mm,
I've always spent my Christmas with my family. Even when I got married,
mm,
I always, at least one of the families, 'di ba? Either sa in-laws ko or sa parents ko. So, uh, that was something that I had missed. Uh, I also missed, alam ko kasi sa Pilipinas yun nga, mas at least name-mention si Jesus Christ, 'di ba? Sa Korea kasi it was all Santa Claus and snow, puro
Oo.
alam mo yun, parang the appendages to Christmas.
Hmm,
Wala yung core na kasi sa Pilipinas, like even, sa TV may mga video na, "Thank you po sa Diyos." 'Di ba?
mm,
Dahil sa isa na naman taon na nakaraos tayo.
mm,
Yun na-miss ko yun, na parang, "Oh shucks, talagang shopping lang, talagang dating lang." Gano'n.
mm.
Do'n ako na-shock actually talaga.
So usually talaga 'yan, it's a day for missionaries to gather together and celebrate on like how we celebrate it as Christians, 'di ba? Like,
Yes.
remembering the birth of the Savior. Kasi we're still in, like talking about Christmas in Korea. Do you have like an
Hmm.
unforgettable Christmas moment? Parang twice
Yes.
na Christmas ka andun sa mission. Meron bang unforgettable na parang hinding-hindi mo makakalimutan?
Yeah. Nung zone leader ako, we had arranged a Christmas zone activity
Mhm,
where we were going to all proselyte Christmas at the same area. So, inarkila namin yung isang malaking plaza sa Gimpo, which is, what we call isang lugar doon. And what we did was, sabi ko, okay, district leaders, ito yung gagawin natin. We gave out free hot chocolate.
mhm,
Tapos we had the Christmas tree. And then yung mga dumadaan, they can write what they're thankful for this Christmas.
mhm.
Tapos yun yung ornaments ng puno. And then,
Oh, that's so
yeah. And
nice.
we got to talk with them. And then we passed out yung Light the World uh,
Oo.
pamphlets. And it was so nice. And then, to top it all off, nagkaroon kami ng choir. And unforgettable doon, wala kami practice eh. So, so parang, okay, basta dyan yung himbok sa inyo, parang gano'n. Sabay na lang kayo, gano'n. And it was so fun. It was so fun. And I think yung yung interaction na yun with the missionaries and to see us really, ako favorite ko dun was to see us come together
Mm.
as a zone and be one in our purpose na nakikita mo in action yung nagtutulungan lahat. And then
Oh.
to see people stopping by, and kahit hot chocolate lang yung kukunin nila kasi malamig, 'di ba? Gusto
Oo.
nila hot chocolate. Nakakatuwa pa rin. So yun yung
Mm,
isa sa mga unforgettable Christmas experience ko.
mm. Natatawa ako kasi naalala ko, you mentioned about like choir singing. Dito sa Philippines kasi 'di ba meron tayong culture na parang nung mga bata tayo, like December 16 yung parang umpisa na ng yung simbang gabi, mag-start na
Hmm,
mangaroling yung mga bata. Tapos ako parang nag-iisip ako nun, nagte-train ako nun. Nag-iisip ako nun parang paano tayo makakapasok sa mga bahay nung mga puwedeng maturuan. Tapos sabi ko, "Ay mangaroling tayo." Oh my gosh, tinry namin nung companion ko, trainee pa lang yun. Alam mo, 3 beses naming tinry. Tapos yung nakalimutan ko na yung first 2 excuses nung dalawa naming nakatalk. Pero yun sa last one na parang nag-decide na kami na umuwi na lang. Sabi nung tao dun sa loob, meron pong patay sa'min. Kaya talaga sabi ko, "Oh my gosh." Nag-start pa man din na kami mag-ano, tawag dito, kumanta tapos biglang,
Oo.
"Ay sorry meron pong patay sa." Sabi ko, It's not this is not working, let's go." Parang gano'n na lang. So parang, ay ayoko na mangaral lang uli sa US.
Yeah, very
Anyway, it
different,
was
very
yeah, very
different.
different like kasi dito kahit dito 'no, kahit papaano nagbibigay sila or parang at least they would
I mean,
acknowledge you. Mm.
kahit may patay, papakinggan
Oo,
ka pa rin nila. Oh, 'di
oo,
ba?
pero like
After the fact na lang parang, "Kakain kayo, may lamay sa amin." Ay, gano'n po
'di
ba?
ba? Yun, kaya talagang
Yeah.
actually medyo sad hindi naman medyo, pero parang sobrang na-miss ko yung Pilipinas nung Christmas sa
Mm.
mission. I only ano, tawag dito, I only experienced one Christmas sa ano, sa mission, eh, pero talagang kahit isa lang yun sabi ko, mas masarap pa rin talaga ang Pasko sa Pilipinas.
Yeah.
Pero
Amen.
good thing for you kasi meron kang unforgettable ano, moment. Sa'kin yun lang, yung nangaroling na nga lang kami tapos sinabihan pa kami, "May patay po dito." Sorry naman po, condolences. Sige. You also mentioned to me na, yung pandemic nagbegan
Yeah,
siya parang medyo patapos ka na. Parang how many months na lang yun before ka umuwi?
parang wala ng 6 months, eh.
Wala ng 6 months,
Yeah, wala ng 6 months.
okey. Kamusta yung transition? Parang paano na-change nung lockdown yung day-to-day experience mo as a missionary?
Oh, it was the first time na sinabihan kami na bawal kayong makipag-usap. And it was very weird kasi everything that I've trained myself to do was to
Oo,
talk with people kahit awkward, 'di ba? Yun yung gusto mong gawin, eh. And
mm.
for the first time, sabi ni President, "You're not allowed to talk to anybody." Oh, sabi ko, alam mo yun? And ang nakakatawa, I remember very distinctly. So sabi ni President, "Okay, you're only allowed to go out of your house 1 hour a day, and you're not allowed to talk to anyone." Okay, President, okay. All you have to you can shop, 'di ba? Or gusto mo may park diyan, tambay lang kayo, pero 1 hour a day lang kayo puwede lumabas. I remember the first time gagawin namin yun, paglabas namin ng pinto, meron tao dun, sakto. Kasi sa elevator, pagbukas elevator, eh. So may nag-iintay. Naalala ko, anyong-asayo na ako. Ta's pinigilan ako ng "Elder, we can't talk to people." As in magbabaw na talaga ako, magsasalita na ako. "Oh, elder, elder, you can't talk to people." And it was very strange. And also, first time ko naranasan yung, alam mo yung parang sa horror movie, yung may speaker sa labas, "Wear your
Speakers tal
masks." Oo,
ah,
parang zombie apocalypse. "Wear your mask, stay inside." Oo, gano'n. Very shocking, and we really didn't know what to do,
parang nasa
at the time.
dystopian novel ka nun na parang may
Parang gano'n.
speakers, may cameras,
Yeah,
ey.
yeah,
Mm.
it was very and the reason why that is kasi COVID had spread sa Korea because of a church. Hindi church natin, pero of another church. Yung isang positive, nagsimba siya. It so happens na mega church yung pinuntahan niya, so 500 plus yung attendance. And so, mainit mata ng mga tao sa kahit anong simbahan at the time.
Oo,
Yeah,
particularly sa mga missionaries kasi kayo yung usually na nakakasalamuhan ng mga iba't ibang tao.
yes. So,
Shucks.
kaya gano'n. It was
Pero
very weird.
nakapag-teach kayo? Siguro after a few days nakapag-teach ba kayo nun?
Um, were we able to teach? Online.
Online na?
Yeah, online na. Wala ng, talagang wala ng in person,
Oo.
to that
Eh, di
point.
medyo nabaliw-baliw kayo nun. Kasi
Oo, alam mo
kasi sanay yung katawan mo, eh, na
sa
ano
awa ng mission president namin sabi niya, you can call home every day," sabi.
oo,
Tawag
sa'min din.
sa inyo rin,
Mm,
'di
mm.
ba? So,
Parang 6 months na lang din ako sa mission biglang nag-pandemic. Grabe yung ano, yung transition na lagi kang nasa labas tapos parang everyday nasa loob ka na lang bigla.
Mhm.
Like grabe, nagtuturo kami nun na ano, na naka-dress tapos naka-pajamas pa din sa loob. Kasi naka-on lang yung aircon, eh.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, 'di ba? Kaya ang weird lang 'no, like grabe na ano natin yun, napagdaanan natin. So parang mga ilang buwan ka na nasa pandemic as a missionary nun?
Not long.
Not long.
After namin ma-quarantine ng 2 weeks, pinauwi kami.
So were you able to finish your mission sa Korea or ano?
So, the ang service ko really, if you were to count it in months, was only 20 months. Yeah. At the
Ah,
time kasi, what we were told was if you so 2 weeks kami quarantine sa Korea tapos
oo.
2 weeks dito.
Mm.
So after that, what we were told was if you had 6 months and below,
Go home na.
you had the option. It would be better kung kaya mo, uwi ka na honorably.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah, oo. Ako hindi ako pinauwi nun, eh, tinapos ko sa actually kasi nung time na parang gusto ng pauwiin yung iba, biglang nag-close yung Philippines. So, I wasn't able to go
Mm,
home. Kaya na-finish ko siya sa LA talaga. Pero kasi karamihan nung kasabayan natin diyan, maraming napauwi, eh. Maski yung
yeah.
mga foreign, missionaries dito sa Pilipinas nagsipag-uwi din sila sa US or where they came from.
Andun kami nun sa
Ah,
MTC. Sa MTC kami
lahat
nun.
kayo nag-quarantine dun 'no?
Ayan.
Party-party kayo dun, eh. Inggit nga ako nun, eh, sabi ko, "Parang ang saya nun, kailan ba ako mapapauwi?" Kasi
Pa
during that time parang, yung sa'kin din kasi parang talagang, like siguro months prior sa pandemic parang hindi na ako okay mentally. So parang I was seeing a therapist na during that time tapos parang nung yung nakakatingin ako ng mga email from my friends na also currently serving at during that time. Lahat sila na ano na, nasa MTC tapos parang hindi na sila nag-e-email. Kaya sabi ko, I feel so left out, na parang bakit ako nandito pa din ako sa US ta's lahat kayo parang ano na lang diyan. Kaya parang, yung medyo ano ako sa pandemic, like parang may sama pa din ako ng loob.
aha.
Kasi ano, eh, parang I was very low on my mental health during that time. Tapos yung mga kaibigan ko nagkakasayahan dito sa MTC sa Pilipinas.
It was a very strange
Na-FOMO
time.
ako.
Yeah.
Mm.
And oh, by the way, you talk about seeing a therapist in the mission. I saw a psychiatrist when I was a mission.
Mhm.
Oh, it was a wonderful experience. My only regret was I didn't do it sooner.
What prompted you to see a psychiatrist sa mission?
So, dalawa kaming companionship noon at the time sa isang area. And yung isang companionship was baptizing someone every week. Sa Korea, that's like
Oo.
crazy. Parang
Mm.
imposible yon. Kami, we had baptized one, two, alam mo yun, para piso net lang. And we thought, sabi namin, we're in the same area. May mali ba sa atin? Parang ganon. And I had thought na uh, there was something wrong with me, with us as a companionship. Because I believe that we were working just as hard. Uh, pero bakit walang numbers to back it up, 'di ba? And naalala ko nun, sabi ko sa family ko, alam nyo ba, I haven't smiled or laughed in maybe 1 month. Isang buwan
Shucks.
ako, hindi ako ngumingiti. And to people who know me now, that's, ano, I mean, that's hard to think about. Pero, yeah, I had to learn how to uh, kind of accept of who I am. And uh, I had to learn that the success was in the effort.
Mhm.
It wasn't in the numbers. The numbers are
Mhm.
nice. Di ba? The numbers are
Mm.
nice, of course. Pero it's in the effort. And when I had learned that, I just do my best and seek sincerely to learn and improve. And then I was a successful missionary.
Yeah, of course. As long as you don't disobey mission rules, you really tried your best to do the work. I think you should consider yourself as a successful missionary. Kasi fortunate lang talaga yung iba um na-assign sa talagang ano ba, for example, South America. Meron ngang ano may parang kasabihan sa US na every time na magkakatok ang mga missionaries sa US may binabaptize sa ano, sa South America. And during that
Probably.
time kasi, parang nagpapalitan na kami ng letters na ni Ivan. So, nasa Sao Paulo siya, South America, ta's ako nasa US. So, parang everytime na magkukuwento siya sa'kin na may may binabaptize sila every week. Parang sabi ko, "May mali ba sa'kin? Bakit
Yeah,
hindi
exactly.
ba ako,
Right.
righteous?" So, parang fino-follow ko naman yung mission rules. Parang, am I doing anything wrong? Bakit hindi ako ang hirap nga lang makapag-usap ng maayos sa mga tao, alam mo yun?
Right, meaningful contacts.
Yeah, oo.
Bihirang-bihira, yeah, right, right.
Parang you would really question your worth, 'di ba? Dahil dun kasi we always, try to measure our success with numbers, most especially 'pag missionary ka. Parang
Yeah,
ayan lagi ang iisipin natin. Pero later in my missionary journey din na na-realize ko na it won't, define me.
mm,
Parang hindi siya KPI na para masabing successful missionary kasi, I think yung para sa atin ma-consider natin na successful missionary ang isang return missionary is kung paano na tulungan yung mga tao, paano na tulungan na si Jesus Christ and also kung paano sila nag-plant ng seeds. And also kung paano ka magiging dedicated after your mission to be a lifelong disciple. So
right.
kasi marami tayong mga friends na they baptized like hundreds sa mission, pero they end up being inactive sa church after they serve the mission. Parang I for one, like, meron akong, naging kasama sa mission niyan na parang, she was able to connect with so many people, baptize many people, like considering na it's a US mission. Pero after, like soon after she got home, she fell away. So parang medyo ano lang, parang heartbreaking,
It is.
parang 'di ba? Yun
You
lang.
know, it's heartbreaking. I always tell missionaries, either sa ward namin or mga paalis, I tell them, uh, the most important thing you'll take back from your mission is who you are.
Yeah.
Sino ka? Ano, sino ka? Are you
Sino ka
kind?
uuwi?
Oo.
Mm.
Yun yung point ng mission. If you come back
Mm.
home more Christ-like, then you would have been successful, di ba? Pero if you come home bragging about how you did this and did that, di ba? Ano ba? Okay ba?
Yeah.
Parang,
Mm.
anong point, di ba? So,
Ah,
it's who we are at the end of the day.
kailangan din natin talagang ma-realize na, um, yung success being a missionary will really depend on your conversion. Like, yeah, you've done your part like as a missionary to help other people, pero after you go back, you have to assess yourself like nasan ka sa conversion mo?
Yeah,
Parang dun mo iko-question na parang, am I really converted? Am I really a lifelong disciple of Jesus Christ?
yeah,
Anyway, sige, punta tayo dun sa after mo mag-mission.
yeah.
Um, Kamusta yung after mag-mission from Korea? Like, did you just start watching K-dramas without subtitles?
No.
Alam mo,
No.
alam mo,
Common
inggit na
misconception.
inggit ako sa mga ano, nag-mission sa Korea. Kasi they can now start watching K-dramas without subtitles.
Well, nung nanonood ako ng K-drama, I would use Korean subtitles. Yeah.
Ah.
Pero my story with Korea is very different. Some people dreamed of being in Korea. Hater ako ng K-pop noon. Sorry
Ay
about
talaga
that.
ba? Tas dun kasi
Yeah. I was
nung
like, Nung bago ako mag-mission, I said, "Ay, paano mo nagugustuhan 'tong bandang 'to, hindi mo nga maintindihan?" Yun yung nasa isip ko.
Ay, in my defense, I've been a K-pop fan since 2009 and whenever I would 'di ba may standard tayo na dapat we listen to good music?
Oo,
Kahit 2009 yan, I would search for translation para lang talagang masabi na this is okay, like nasa
nice,
standard na ng
nice.
well, anyway, sige.
Yeah, 'di ba? And then I opened my mission call. At the time kasi ewan ko sa inyo, physical pa, 'di ba?
Physical pa yun, naabutan ko pa yung physical, so
Nabutan
meron
mo,
akong ano.
ayan. So, when I opened it, yung Site to Liberate the Korea's Whole Mission, natawa ko ng tawa. Sabi ko, "The Lord is humbling me, I guess." Pero, yeah, it's very different relationship. And obviously I left the mission with absolute love for Korea and its people and its culture. And
And now you
I
eat so much kimchi na din.
yeah, yeah, I tell people na you will be hard pressed. Mahirap makahanap ng pagkain sa Korea na hindi kulay pula. Everything's red. Everything's
Mm.
just red. So yeah, it was so pag uwi ko, it wasn't an easy transition sa akin. I thought it would be. Well, kasi pandemic eh. Uh,
You weren't able to go out as much?
no, no.
Oh,
Prior
you
ako
were?
mag-mission, bago ako mag-mission, I would go home to sleep.
Mhm,
Gano'n ako bago ako mag-mission. Pagka gising ko, aalis ulit ako. Uuwi ako para lang matulog na.
mm.
Gano'n ako kagala. Pero nung after ng pandemic, parang, ano gagawin ko ngayon? Parang wala ng planning, wala ng
Mm.
wala na akong tuturuan, wala ng wala akong kompanyon.
Kamusta yung transition mo nun? Kasi pandemic, umuwi ka ng pandemic, eh.
You know what? Looking back on how my attitude was coming back from the mission, I had the wrong attitude coming back. I think we were talking about who we were. I was not, you know, I looking back now, I didn't like who I was nung bumalik ako. I thought I had figured it out. I thought I knew how to move on with life. The truth was I didn't know much nung
Mm.
pagbalik ko, and I had to slowly come to that realization. Uh, so I think it was just, kasi naalala ko pag uwi ko kinabukasan ay nilabas ko agad yung Spotify ko noon. Tas nakinig ulit. Yung una kong ginawa, nakinig ako ng music na na pinapakinggan ko dati. Pero I had realized talaga na, oh, I've changed. Alam mo yun? And the hardest thing for me was, sino ako sa pamilya ko ngayon? Sino na ako sa
Hmm.
ward ko ngayon? I had, wala akong, ano yung lugar ko in society at large? Parang, how
Magkakaroon ka
do I
talaga
fit
ng
in?
existential crisis 'no, kapag
Di ba?
katapos ng mission. Kasi nung nasa mission alam mo yung purpose mo, eh.
Yeah.
After dun talaga parang wala ka ng ground to walk on. Kaya talaga hindi mo alam kung
Oo.
saan ka
Parang,
lulugar.
naalala ko pa na sinubukan ko pa, "Okey, mag-planning tayo." Tapos tinitigan ko yung phone ko, "Okey, 'wag na." Wala akong gagawin. Teka lang. Naalala ko yun, sabi ko, "Shucks, what?" Oo, pero eventually yun eh, parang ano yung lugar ko? Sino ako ngayon sa mga taong
Mm.
'to? What's my place in the world after my mission? Especially ako na bigla na lang nawala yung mission sa'kin, eh. In the span of 1 month, hindi na ako missionary. Pinandemic ako, 'di ba? Kinwarantin ako ng
Yeah.
1 buwan, paglabas ko ng
Mm,
quarantine hindi na ako missionary. So
mm.
parang, who am I? Parang gano'n. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the most
Mm.
difficult thing sa'kin pagbalik.
Pero how were you able to come back right up doon sa parang kasi parang naging stagnant ka, eh, for a time after your
Sure.
mission na parang talagang hindi mo alam kung sino ka. Sino, ano, or yung parang what motivated you to, like, do things, to become Gabriel again? Like, Gabriel who is someone doing things, gano'n.
Marriage?
Oh.
Yeah. I when I came back home, I said, kung ano yung excitement ko na papunta akong mission, gano'n yung excitement ko magpakasal. Dapat gano'n, sabi
Oh,
ko. Kasi if I really understood my covenant, if I really understood, sabi ko sa sarili ko, I really understood, then bakit kaya hindi ako magiging excited sa susunod? Sabi ko
yeah.
nung bata ako, I want to go on a mission, bata pa lang ako, eh. Tapos pagdating sa kasal biglang, hindi, relax, relax muna ako. Sabi ko, hindi puwede.
Mm.
Sabi ko, anong klaseng 'di ba, nagturo ako ng eternal families tapos, di-delay ko na magkaroon ng eternal family. Parang, okey, parang sa akin it didn't match. So, what really motivated me was I have to get ready to be married. So, nag-aral ulit ako, yung father ko, props to him. Father ko naalala ko, one day mag-aalmusal ako, nag-aalmusal tayo, bumaba siya and with walang good morning, nothing. "Ikaw," sabi niya, "ano ang ginagawa? Trabaho ka kaya?" Sabi niya sa'kin. Well, alam mo yun, na-shock ako and then literal that day, you look for one and that really got me started. Yung motivation ko to work was to really sabi ko, I want to be ready to be married.
Oh. How was dating for you during that time? Kasi pandemic, eh.
Video call. Eh, yun oo. Actually, si Annette, who's my wife now, sabi niya sa'kin, "I want you to video call me the day after you get there. Then I would
Mm.
know na nakauwi ka." Pero yeah, so Sunday ako umuwi, Monday morning, walang hi, walang hello. I called her, sabi niya, "Welcome home." And that was it.
So you know Annette na before mission?
Yeah, we had met sa institute. Yeah.
Saan, sa MIR or sa
QC.
ano? Sa QC. Oh, nice. So, where you have like an understanding na before mission or parang
No. I dated na we only had 2 dates.
mhm.
Ang first date namin bago ako mag-mission, ang pangalawang date namin kami na, after na ng mission.
Ah.
Oo. So, ang first date namin happened December 1, 2017. Literally 17 days bago siya pumasok ng NPC, dinate ko siya.
Ah.
Oo, so December 19 or 18 siya papasok nun, eh.
So, parang nagkasabay kayo sa mission?
No, no, nauna siya.
Nauna siya?
Nauna siya
Okay.
by half a year, by 6 months.
Oh,
Oo,
okey.
yeah. So, sabi ko lang sa sarili ko, I really liked her at the time. Sabi ko, i-date ko siya once para at least alam ko uwi siya mas maaga sa'kin, eh. O at least pagka nagka-boyfriend siya pag-uwi niya, sinabi kong at least na-try ko.
Mm.
Wala akong regret sa puso ko na, "Ay, hindi ko kasunod date." Parang gano'n.
Pero siguro, paano mo nalaman na parang, "Ay, siya yung gusto kong makasama for eternity?"
Naalala ko, sabi sa sabi sa mission, 'di ba, "Lock your heart." 'Di ba?
Mm.
May kaduktong 'yun, eh. Lock your heart and leave the key at home, 'di ba? Iwan
So
ko yung susi sa kanya. Pero naalala ko first night ko sa MTC may devotional. Sabi ko, sabi nung speaker, "Revelation is spoken through your mind and your heart. When your mind and your heart, say the same thing, it's most likely revelation if you feel the spirit." 'Di ba? And I realized na nasa MTC na ako nito, Sabi ko, ah, oo nga 'no, shucks. Si Annette lang yung nag-iisang nagustuhan ko na it made sense here and here. Every other person na nagustuhan ko up to that point, alam mo yun, I just found them pretty, they were nice to be
mhm,
with, 'di ba? Pero if we're talking about serious marriage, about the characteristics I want in my wife or in the mother of my children, I didn't see that with any of them really, with much of them. Though they were good people, obviously. Pero with Annette, that was the first time that a woman had struck me and it made sense po. And
hmm.
that was the last time. Parang nung sa MTC na yun, dun ko na nilak yung puso ko and
Si Annette
threw
na 'to, gano'n?
threw away the key. And,
Oo naman.
sabi ko, at least kung di tanggapin ni Annette, okey lang.
Mm.
Iiyak lang tayo saglit pero, ah, tatanggapin natin 'yan.
So, paano kayo dumating doon sa parang, decision na magpakasal na?
Ah, good question. Annette was ready way before me. We
Oh,
have very
really?
different timings, eh. She
Mm.
had met me sa institute, kaka-graduate niya lang ng college. She had met me, nagkakilala kami, siya kaka-graduate niya ng college, ako ang graduate ko lang ng high school. So, yeah. So, we were very different, 'no. So, nag-mission siya
Uh-huh.
tapos na siya mag-aral. Ako, isang sem of college. Nag-college lang ako para may balikan na school.
Oo.
Hindi talaga ako seryoso nun. So, at nung bumalik ako, and my father pushed me to work, which I did. Karoon ako ng trabaho and it was very Annette was very clear about it na, "I'm ready, pero I'll wait for you." So, pray ako. Sabi ko, "Heavenly Father, I want to be married, I want to be ready. Help me." Sabi ko. So, and then, parang sabi ng Diyos, "Okay, bet." Parang gano'n, "Okay, bet." So, binigyan niya ako ng magandang trabaho,
Mm.
binigyan niya ako ng magandang trabaho, dream job ko, binigay niya sa'kin and it paid really, really well. And then naalala ko one night, I was praying, ta's parang sabi sa'kin ng Diyos, "May excuse ka pa? Ye Need anything else?" Parang gano'n, eh, parang and then I realized, oo nga 'no, shucks, wala na akong excuse. I had financially become prepared and
Mhm.
grateful to my parents, 'di ba, that had worked hard before me to make sure na may sasandalan pa rin ako if things go wrong.
Mhm.
So, hindi ako dapat takot do'n. Ah, I know that Annette was the person that I wanted to marry. So, para sa Diyos, ano bang excuse mo sa'kin?
To delay it
Eh,
'no?
wala na. Eh, sabi ko,
Wala
"Wala na."
na.
Okey. So, gano'n. And that's when I decided na, okey, sige alam mo 'yun, leap of faith na.
Oo.
Gano'n na, oo.
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, and you got married at the age of?
Before I turned 22, 21.
Oh. Eh, tapos si Annette nun during that time, ilang taon na siya?
She was turning 24, 23 somewhere.
So,
Yeah.
um, in modern world, that is considered as like, very early pa. Kasi
Yes.
most people, lalo na sa batch natin or like parang sa mundo ngayon, they tend to settle down like nearing 30s,
Yes.
gano'n. So,
Exactly.
in what ways do you feel na prepared ka na at the age of 21 to get married?
Yun nga, I had a good job at the time. Pero ako kasi, I don't hide from the fact that I've been blessed materially because of my parents. Uh, some people are ashamed to say that. I'm not kasi I'm very grateful sa kanila, eh. And, because of that, I realized na talagang walang excuse. Ah, kasi 'di ba parang ang
You've
dami kong
given everything, like not
oo,
really everything, pero at least may safety net ka to hold
exactly,
on to. Oo, tama naman,
exactly.
oo.
Yeah, yeah. So, I'm just saying na I did the most with what I had.
Yes,
Hindi
exactly,
ko dininay na
mm,
na hindi kasi dapat I have to pave my own way. True enough, fair enough, 'di ba?
mm,
Pero at the same time, wala akong fear na wala I realized din bakit it's a privilege for me to get married early.
mm.
It was a privilege, and I realized that
Hmm,
not many people can do that.
yes,
Pero, uh, knowing how what the Lord has blessed me with, 'di ba? Idinay ko pa ba 'yun? Because
yes,
because others are doing differently, 'di ba? Hindi,
yeah,
hindi puwede. Ako naman spiritually din, I knew I was ready nung sinabi sa'kin ni Annette na parang kasi kasi parang feeling ko bata pa talaga ako no'n at the time, eh. Pero parang, pinaparamdam sa'kin ni Annette na, "Hindi, match nga tayo, eh. Kaya mo nga akong" alam mo 'yun? "Kaya mo nga akong
mm,
sabayan, eh." Parang
mm,
gano'n. So, I don't know what you're talking about being too young or what, 'di ba?
Oo.
So, yeah, props to her kasi she helped me realize na, oo nga 'no, parang hindi na rin pala ako. Hindi
Mm,
pala hadlang na, 'di ba, porket 21 lang ako.
hmm. Oo, kasi, ayun nga din yung na-realize ko sa part or parang sa'min ni Ivan, he was just starting pa rin yung college. Some other people, if they want to get married, they have to stop everything. Like, they have to work na. They have to stop their education so that they can provide for their family. Pero yung ganitong parang I consider them as, oo, privilege siya, pero parang matatawag mo din siyang may luxury tayo na to still pursue education,
Yeah,
to have like those, yung helping hands natin from our parents na na kaya tayo malakas na loob, may leap of faith tayo to start a family kasi we've been blessed with amazing parents. Like I've seen that with my mom, my dad, and also dun sa parents ni Iwan na parang very ano sila, very helpful sila. Most especially nung naging buntis ako. As in talagang very privileged tayo kasi not all people will have
yeah, no,
those, 'di ba,
no,
resources.
no, I often speak with my friends. Minsan inuto ko nga sila, help me understand na bakit ayaw mo magpakasal.
Mm.
Kasi sabi ko, ako 21, gano'n, siyempre mayabang ka, eh. Ako 21 ako. Then he said parang, "I've been poor before.
Mm.
I don't want my wife to experience that. I don't want my
Mm.
children to experience. I grew up
Mm.
poor," sabi niya. And and I have to admit, sabi niya, "I'm scared
Mm.
na when I get married, hindi ko sila masusustento." Well, it's a real concern, no? Uh, pero yun nga eh, because and props, I love my friends. My friend ko na yun, he doesn't judge me because I'm, kind of materially privileged in that way. Uh, you know, hindi yung, buti ka pa kasi, ganun. Pero ako, since I got married, I'm a full-time student. I full-time nagtatrabaho. And yeah, it's been my life for the past 4 years. So ako and yeah, I think there is that privilege that comes with it, and I'm grateful that the Lord has blessed me in that way. Uh, to be able to get married.
Mm. And also kahit naman coming from privilege ka, I still think na you also have your challenges.
Oh yeah.
Like care to share some na sa tingin mo from your standing, ano yung mga naging challenge sa'yo getting married young, you have to go to school, you have to provide for your own family. Like ano yung mga naging challenge for you?
Challenge sa akin, ako to leave my comfort zone. That was very difficult. This year, we moved out of my parents' house, which was uh, such a difficult decision. Pero one that I knew we had to make. Pero that was, sa akin kasi parang, ano ba, parang, oo nga, andito na nga tayo sa pera, komportable na natin, alis pa tayo. Parang ganun ako
Oo
nung
nga,
noon.
hindi na kayo magbabayad ng rent, gano'n.
Oo,
Yeah.
ako nga, thank you mommy daddy, kasi tubig, kuryente, pagkain,
Mm.
nothing. Talagang, ibig sabihin, ako, naintindihan ko naman sila daddy, kasi gusto nila makapag-ipon kami. Alam mo yun, parang so, ibig sabihin, majority of our salary, or of my salary, naiipon namin because of that. Pero, nung this year, when we took that leap na, o tara, parang bukod na tayo. It was very scary. Pero sabi ko nga, is this my Lehi's test? Di ba? Sabi ko, nung dati, testimony ako, kung ako si Lehi, di ba? Aalis din ako. Pero Lehi left with nothing but an answered prayer. Lehi left
Yeah.
with nothing, with, ang sabi niya na sa sarili niya, sabi ng Diyos eh. Ganun
Mm.
kami when we left. We were very comfortable. We had, the land of my inheritance, di ba? Pero the Lord, when we had prayed as a couple, the Lord said, "You go." And then I said, "Oh, okay, yeah,
How did you prepare? Kasi siyempre grabeng, you know, tayo sa buhay natin marami tayong transition, nag-transition tayo like into becoming a missionary.
yeah,
Tapos nung pag-uwi natin nag-transition tayo to become like normal people.
sure,
Nag-transition tayo maging husband, wives nung kinasal
yeah,
tayo. Another transition now is yung kapag yung bumukod nga na umalis na kayo dun sa
yeah,
safety net ninyo.
yeah."
Parang how was the experience? Like paano paano yon? Paano nakaapekto
I
sa inyo
knew
yon?
when we had received the answer, I knew I didn't have the faith to do it. That was very difficult for me to admit. When we had received the answer, I searched my soul and sabi ko, I do not have the faith to do that. Okay, so what now? Therefore what? Diba? Parang yun, therefore what?
Mm.
So I went to the temple weekly until sabi ko, I will go to the temple weekly until I have enough faith to do what the Lord has asked.
Oh.
And I did that for I think 2 months. Weekly yun.
Mm.
And every time I would go into the temple, my prayer was, Heavenly Father, help me have the faith to do what you ask. I want to do it. Promise po, I want to do it. I just don't have the faith to do it right now. Pero please help me to gain that faith. And I realized that that was the greatest preparation. Aside from the financial, syempre, di ba? Aside from the financial. Yung nag-ipon ka, nagtitipid kayo para may pambili kayong washing machine tsaka, tsaka ref, di ba?
Mm.
Besides
Mm.
doon, it was going to the house of the Lord every week and asking for that. And then I just remember, I don't know what month it was, pero I just remember one night praying and feeling I can do it. Kaya ko na. And and that flipped the switch. Parang ano, okay.
As in bigla na lang ano, zen. Parang
Oh,
okey na lahat.
it was like, kaya ko na. And I knew I was going to face opposition.
Mm.
Ibig ko sabihin, my parents, of course, ako yung bunso nila, they wouldn't want me to leave. Which is very understandable. Kasi bunso nila ako, right? And may bago silang apo, they want to spend time.
Oo,
Pero,
gusto nila na lagi nilang nakikita, oo.
yeah, pero
Mm.
they really didn't want me to leave. Pero grateful for them na after all that discussion, all that back and forth namin, bakit ka alis? Kasi ganito, and you know, after all that, naalala ko si daddy, kami ni daddy, we would have discussions about this. Eh, kaya nga ako nagtrabaho kasi ayaw na kitang mag-upa, di ba? Ganun, tapos ngayon gusto mo umalis, uupa ka. Pero nung nakita niya na solid na ako na decided na kami. I will never forget one night umuwi siya galing office yun sa bahay namin. Sabi niya, tara bili tayo pintura.
Aw,
And that was his way of saying, okay, susuporta kita. I
aw.
see that you've made up your decision. I've warned you about how hard it is. If this is really what you want, let me help you. So that was very touching sa akin as his son. And it's been such a wild ride since since lumipat kami 7 months ago. Pero we've grown so much sa time na yun.
Oh, that's so nice. It's so cool na na-gain niyo yung respect and also yung approval ng parents ninyo para talagang kasi of course you have to build your own, eh, na parang
Yeah,
wala ng safety net. That's when, I think like marriage would be more fortified kapag kayo na lang.
we left na may lake na kami.
Oo.
Yeah.
Pero yun nga, leap of faith pa rin talaga and also personal revelation that it is also the Lord's will. That's so nice. Pero anyway, siguro as our closing na lang, um, kasi we started yung episode with your, um, experience as a missionary sa Christmas, right? Like or yung parang mga nakita yung mga nagre-recall ka ng mga Christmas experiences mo when you were a missionary. And then we talked about your family life, and now that you're trying to like make or like really settle down na kayo lang as your family. Parang ano siguro yung maka-counsel mo para sa mga katulad mo na bata, return missionary, and also like just trying to figure out life na parang, eh, mahirap kasi, and also parang what's next after mission or parang ano nang gagawin ko ngayon? Any advice or parang words of ay or like words of wisdom to give to them?
Okay, if you're a returned missionary, don't try to do the things you did in the mission. For example, don't go and proselyte. You don't need to do that. Okay, don't try to hold yourself to the same standard na 1 hour of personal study. You can do that. That's good. Pero focus on who you are, not what you do. Who you are. What's your character? Are you kind? Are you merciful? Are you compassionate? Do you love the Lord? Are you willing to do everything that He asks you to do, even if it's extremely uncomfortable? Even if it goes against everything you believe in. I would also say not be excited to get married. It hurts my heart whenever I talk with young single adults and they tell me, darating na lang yan.
No, you have to plan, 'di ba?
And then, I'll just focus on myself and darating na lang yan. It won't. Okay? It won't. Okay? Could you imagine if the Lord just came down on earth and said, well, yung atonement, mangyayari na lang yan.
My gosh, that's true.
'Di ba? Could you imagine the Lord being casual or especially about the covenant? Never. The Lord will always be intentional, and He expects the same of us. You have to put yourself in position to be successful to get married. Example, example. Wala kasi ako nagde-date eh. Umati ka ba ng institute? Pupunta ka ba ng activity? Nakipag-socialize ka ba sa labas ng ward mo? O kapag ka may lumapit sa'yo na brother or sister, okay?
Busy ako, eh.
Busy
My
ako
God.
eh. Hindi. Okay? We cannot. Okay?
Yeah.
I wish you were just as excited to get married as you were to go on your mission. I hope you put in the same effort because frankly, marriage is more important than the mission. Marriage is a higher covenant than the mission.
And also preparation lang yung mission sa'tin for marriage.
Exactly. Ako, I love my companions, each one of them. Talagang mahal na mahal ko sila. And that gave me practice, the
Yes.
framework of how to treat my wife.
Mm.
So, yun. And lastly, if blessings don't come, let's say you do everything right, intentional ka sa marriage, so dating life mo, feeling mo wala pa rin nangyayari. Uh, you still have a place in the church. You still absolutely have a place. Ako, if I were to tell anybody anything, it would be everyone has a place in the church. Everyone. It don't matter if you think you're sinful. It doesn't matter if you think you've gone away for too long. Doesn't matter if you've said some horrible things about the church. Doesn't matter kung feeling mo masyado ka ng makasalanan. You have a place in this church. And and you know what? You know why you have a place in this church? Because the Lord had a place for you when He performed the eternal. You were one of His drops of blood. And because of that, you have a place in this church. Whoever you are, you always have a place in this church.
Aw, that's so beautiful. I love that. Yan. And to end our first part of Christmas special, last question na lang for you,
Hmm.
Gabe. What are you excited to start as a Christmas tradition for your family?
Ah,
Kasi siyempre 'di ba, ano, eh, may sarili na kayong place, like what kind of Christmas tradition were you, like, planning to hold for your family?
Alam mo, it's a better question for my wife.
Ay talaga?
Pero I just want Christmas to be really about Jesus Christ. If there's something that I want, whatever the tradition may be, I want it to be about Jesus Christ. I don't want it to be about gifts.
Mhm.
Ako, I'm grateful to my wife.
Yeah.
See, Annette is very low maintenance. Uh, she doesn't care how much I spend on the gift. Pero it has to be about Christ. Yun yung ano pa, yun na yung gusto kong tradition sa aming family. When it's Christmas time, we talk of Christ, we speak of Christ, we rejoice in Christ. Yun lang.
Ah. Oh, that's nice. Maybe siguro next time si Annette yung i-guest natin dito. Sige, anyway, thank you so much, Gay, for being so open and yung sa experiences mo being a return missionary and also getting married at such a young age. So grateful. I think na yung mga listeners na who are siguro yung mga who are going through the same situation, whether it be like try to settle down with their families and also siguro yung mga return missionaries figuring out like what's next. I think marami silang matututunan na aral from your experiences. Anyway, thank you so much. So everyone, if you have a story or struggle to share or yung mga experiences na katulad na shinare ni Gabe, please let us know by sending us a message sa Facebook account natin so that you can also have your platform here to share your testimonies. Help us reach more followers by following the podcast on Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook at the Grace Period Chica with a Purpose. Thank you so much for joining us today. Stay faithful, stay soft, and stay in grace.